Make sure you follow me on social media to get updates and ask me questions. Enjoy the video. Before I start working on the answer regarding the previous video, I want to talk about visitors for this application. What I mean is that we have 4 routes that makes no sense to be available for authenticated users, right? If I am authenticated, then I should have no access to login and register, not just to the GET requests, but also to POST requests. For this, we need another middleware. So I guess that at the end of this video, you will understand 100% how middlewares work. So let's create a middleware for visitors, and this time we will have a route group, because we have more than one route that will use the visitor middleware. So PHP artisan make middleware visitors middleware. Now I will create a route group right here, route group. So we will use this middleware, and I will name it visitors maybe, and then we need a closer, and this is where we put all the routes. So I will take everything regarding register and login and I will put them inside. Okay, let me have it up there, and just to avoid any kind of mistake, make sure that this bracket right here is not at this place but right here. Otherwise you will have an error. And now let's register this middleware. So I will go to kernel, you already know the steps, and right at the end we can register a new middleware, visitors, and this will be pretty much the same, so I will just change the name here to visitors. So what I will do is to go there and add some logic. First of all, we have to include Sentinel, like always. So what is the criteria for this middleware here? If the user is not authenticated, then we continue with the request. So let's do this. If, and then Sentinel, check equals to false, so if the user is not authenticated, then we continue with whatever request the user requested. And we can also simplify this a bit more. We can remove this part and add only an exclamation mark at the front. This is pretty much the same. It will work in the same way. So now we also need an else statement. So if the user is not authenticated, then we can redirect to the index page. So let's log in and see if this works. I will go to /login, and also make sure that the user that you're going to use has an ID 1. So in my case, the ID here for the role is 2, and I will change this to 1. So the user now is an admin. So let's log in and see if this works. Okay, if I go to /register, then you can see that we are redirected. And if I go to /login, again the same thing. However, if I go to /earnings, then I can access this page because I am an admin. By the way, if you decide to not include this else statement here, you will see that you get an error whenever you try to go to login or register. The application has no idea what to do in case the user is authenticated, and you get that error. Anyway, I will bring this back, of course. And the problem now is that we have no logout button. So if I go to earnings, well, this is the only thing that I can access, and of course the index page. But both of these pages have no button to log out. So what I will do is to create a folder for admins and another one for managers. So in the views here, admins, and another one for managers. This one will be very quick, so I will just have to copy the form for the logout. So the name of this view is earnings.blade.php, and I will create another one inside the managers for tasks.blade.php. And we have to just go to layout, stop menu, and copy the form of the logout and paste it inside earnings and inside tasks. And this is all. So in the controller, instead of returning a string, what I will do is to return the view. So right here, I will say return view admin.earnings. And of course, we can also add the text right here. So total earnings, and then a number. Doesn't really matter. And also make sure that you have this as admins and not admin. So if I go here now, you can see that we have the text, of course, and the logout button, so we can log out. And this works. So at this point, everybody has rules for the routes. If you are not allowed to access a route, then you will be redirected to the index page. Now the answer to the question from the previous video. I hope that some of you decided to do this on your own, but in any case, let's do it together. And do not skip this in case you want to follow the next video series, okay? And the next one will be about activating an account, because now we are activating the account using Sentinel, but later in the next video we will see how we can do that by using an email. So let's answer the question to the previous video. I will create a new middleware for managers. So we'll call this manager. And I will go and register this one. I will just have to copy this actually and change the name to manager and this one here to manager as well. Now again, the rules for the manager middleware are the same as in the admin middleware. So you just have to copy this, go here and paste them. Of course, do not forget to include Sentinel, so use Sentinel. And all we have to do is to just change this to manager. Of course, we also need to apply this, to use this middleware, and I will go and create a new route get tasks manager controller add tasks. And of course, we have to use this middleware manager. So let's only create the last step, which is the controller. Manager controller. And let's create the function for this. So public function tasks. All we have to do here is to return the view. So view managers.tasks. So this is the answer to the question in the previous video. Now it is time to test the whole application before we move on to the account activation. So if I go to the login page, we are not authenticated. So if I try to access, for example, earnings, we are redirected. And if I try to access tasks, again, we are redirected. So if I log in, and right now we are, let's see, the role of this user right now is admin. So if I try to access earnings, no problem. If I try to access tasks though, we are redirected because this is only a manager route. Of course, the same for login and register. Okay, so let's change now the role to ID2, which is now a manager. So if I try to access tasks, no problem. If I try to access earnings though, redirected. Register, redirected, login, again, redirected. Now, before I close this video, let me log out and I will tell you why. So when you log in, you see that we returned the authenticated user, right? So we returned this and I don't want this anymore. So what I will do is to go to the login controller. And right here, instead of returning the authenticated user, what I will do is to say if Sentinel get user, and we get the roles, and then we get the first role and the slag. So if the slag is equal to admin, then I want to redirect, so return redirect to the earnings page, because the earnings is accessible to the admin, right? Else if Sentinel, again the same, so Sentinel get user, we get the roles, we get the first role, and we get the slag. So if the slag is equal to manager, then I want to return the tasks page. So redirect tasks. Of course, we can make this a bit more clear. So what I will do is to store the slag inside a variable. So slag, and I will cut this. Okay, so if slag equals to admin, and if slag equals to manager. Perfect. So let's try and do this again. I will go to earnings. Okay, maybe we have to go to tasks for this. I will log out. Unexpected if, so let's see. We should have, yeah, we forgot a semicolon there. Do this again. So if I try now to log in, secret the password, and there we are. We are redirected back to the tasks. Excellent. So do not miss the next video. It is very, very important and of course very interesting.